Hello, Sid here. Welcome to my YouTube channel and my memoirs. Have a little look around, why don't you? And I've also divided it into chapters if you need to take your time with it. In the meantime, here's a little taster for you. No matter how tough things got though, there were always people willing to help out. I had so many aunties and uncles, I can't tell you which ones were the real ones or not. First off, there was the uncle who lent your mum money while your dad was in prison. We called him Uncle Boot, due to the fact he had one shoe with a much bigger sole on it than on the other. Mam said it was called an orthopaedic shoe, and for some reason, whenever he came round, our Des would always ask him whether it gave him 3D vision and the California blues. And then he'd start singing, "Orthopaedic shoes, orthopaedic shoes." I quite liked him, even though I wasn't supposed to know he was a lone wolf or a lone shark or whatever it was. But I still knew what was going on. Even when Mam, who was trying to protect me from the ways of the world, would reply to his question, "What can I get you?" by asking for a Gilbert O'Sullivan. Alone again, naturally. At which point, Uncle Boot would undo a compartment in his large-soled shoe and pass some money to Mam, and then pass a traffic light to me, saying, "Some lolly for you, and a lolly for you." Like I say, I quite liked him. Sometimes Mam was really pleased to see Uncle Boot and made a right fuss of him. Other times, we all had to hide when he came round. Les called it a lupine-themed double bind. If we let him in, it's because we needed to keep the wolf from the door. And if we didn't, it was because we needed to keep the wolf from the door. Worse, if we were all hiding, you could hear him knocking on the window and saying stuff like, little pigs, let me in." One time, Des, who was presumably at a loss because he'd had to stop hitting things, replied, very quietly for him, "Not by the hairs on our chinny chins," which annoyed all of us, but Mam especially, because she was a bit self-conscious about the occasional whisker appearing on the lower part of her face. Nothing she couldn't have probably dealt with by way of something from Smith and Nephews, but in any case, she was put out enough for her to stand up and shout at Des, "This is me! I've told you, you march to the beat of your drum, and I'll march to the beat of mine. It's not like I'm afraid to be seen." Unfortunately, at that point she realised she had been seen, as Uncle Boot was looking straight at her through the window. So we ended up having to let him in, and in the absence of any money, told him to help himself to Dad's watch, which stood untouched on the mantelpiece. After he'd left, Mam said, "He's welcome to it. He can shove it up his backside for all I care." A suggestion that wasn't lost on the rest of us, because that's how Dad had acquired it in the first place.